Hi, everyone. Hi, Rada.
Hi, Serena. How are you?
Well, thank you for accepting once again after your interview. We're doing this now on this very cold day. So, would you like to introduce yourself for our audience, please?
So first of all, Serena, thank you for having me on your page. And it's a pleasure to be here today, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone who's watching us. So my name is Rada, as Serena had mentioned. I am a digital business owner, mentor, and coach. I do live in Montreal, just like Serena mentioned also that I'm a Montrealer by birth. I live here with my supportive and loving husband, and I have 2 young children. I used to work in the finance field. I was a financial advisor for 15 plus years. I have also had my own traditional business. I was a stay-at-home mom, and now I am a digital business owner for the past 4 years.
Okay, since you already told us about what you're doing, how about you tell us how did you switch to become an online business owner? Since you already have an original business, you said.
Right. So, like I said, I was an employee as a financial advisor for 15 years. Then I had my first child, and my child was a little bit more demanding, would get sick quite often. So I actually left my position. I was in a very high position in my corporate world. I actually left that position to become a mom because my belief is I gave birth to this child. He is my responsibility, and this little person is 100% dependent on me, and I should take that responsibility full on. So I decided to stay home with my son, and soon after I had my daughter. My daughter was a little bit more independent, and she was ready for daycare sooner than I expected. So once she did start going to daycare, being an independent financially woman, and I was a very career oriented person. I just couldn't just stay at home. It was driving me up the walls. So I told myself I've got to find something. I got to do something. Both my kids are now stable in the educational system and everything. So I decided, you know what? I didn't want to be an employee anymore. I was past that phase of my life, and I want to do something for myself. This is when my husband and I decided to go out and get a traditional business. We owned a franchise in downtown Montreal. We owned a cafe. And we ran it for a few years.
That must be very busy.
It was very busy, and we were in the core. We were right next to McGill University and everything. So
that's busy.
Yes, we were at the core, the heart of Montreal.
Yes.
So my husband kept on doing what he was doing, and I was a full-time business owner there, and I ran the cafe on my own.
Wow.
I enjoyed it massively, being my own boss, but yes, I didn't really have my weekends to myself anymore, and I had to run around quite often. But the thing was, I was able to at least adjust my schedule slightly more towards the kids. But then with the whole COVID happening, a lot of things got shut down for a while. Mm-hmm. And I got a chance to spend time with my kids. I spent 8 months with my kids at home because there was no school. So I actually got a chance to spend that 8 months with my children again. And I realized that I was, you don't realize things till you're actually in that situation. This is when I realized that I don't spend much time with my kids. I don't, they're there, I'm there, but we're not there together. They're doing their thing and I was doing my thing. And these 8 months made me realize that I was missing out on a lot of things, and that they didn't only need me as babies, yes. We were there for the 1 year maternity or whatever. They actually need me even at this phase in elementary, and they still need me in high school. Yes. Because if it's not me, it's going to be friends. It's going to be other people guiding them, yes. And I loved being home with them for those 8 months. And I was like, I want to keep this bond that I've created with them, this mm-hmm. relationship that I have with them now is something I didn't want to give up anymore.
Yes.
So I got greedy. I got greedy for the love of my kids.
Yes.
So I didn't want to give it up. And once they went back to school, and obviously things were still kind of on the shutdown, I started scrolling around, and I was never on social media much before, but when you have time on your hands, what are you going to do, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I did. I scrolled and I saw an ad where a mom was spending all her time with her kid. And I was like, that's not possible. Like, I worked, I know this is not possible. But something attracted me to her, and I clicked on it, and I spoke to her, and I was like in awe. I was like, really, that's possible just by being here where you are today? And she's like, yeah, it's possible. And that's where my story began. I was like, I want to do this. I
Yes.
want to have the freedom of being able to run my life the way I want to run it, And
Yes.
that was what made me go, this is what I want.
When you were talking about your business, your cafe, just a little side story. Before, when I was with my husband, before the separation, I always wanted something for myself, because, Serena is not someone who likes to stay at home and being a full-time mother. But then, because after the marriage, we decide that I'm going to stay at home with the kids so that he can work, and then I take care of the home, but I always wanted something like that, a business, a traditional business. So I talked to him. He was working in a bank as well. So I talked to him, and then I said, I would like to open a spa, maybe, so, and then the first thing he said is, no, because you won't have time for the family. You will have to be there present, at your spa, taking care of the spa, of the client, of your staff, and everything. So who will take care of the kids? I won't be able to take care of the kids. So I think something related to this is that dream that I was holding, now I'm doing it with this online business. So it's a great opportunity. So can you please tell our audience your big why, except for your kids, except for is it because you still have that passion for doing something for yourself, your big why, or is it your husband, he wants you to stay at home as well? What is it, your big why?
I think my biggest why was I wanted time back in my life.
Oh,
I mean, because when you have that time, you can give it. So I didn't have time before, whether I was working or whether I had my business. I was always running around.
Yes, I can imagine your schedule by what you.
I was I'm a multitasker. I can do many things in one time. That's not my problem. And in my household, everyone knows that Rada can be running for like 18 hours, no problem. She just wants her 8 hours of sleep. But I know that I could do that, right? But in between, I was losing those 18 hours. I didn't get those for myself. I didn't get them for my kids. So for me, once I did get those 8 months of time, I gave it to my kids. I gave it to my husband. I gave it to my parents. I gave it to my household. I felt like I had my life back, I was not doing something for someone else, or I was not just out there and just like, I felt like almost like a robot at a point, You're just going. Like the Energizer Bunny. You just keep going, And you never stop. I stopped and I realized there's a whole other world out here besides being that runaround person. I used to just put on my snow pants and go play in the snow with my kids. How many parents get to do that? So just having time, I knew that I would be able to give it to my kids.
Like the freedom to choose what you want to do.
Right. I mean, like, most of the time we're fixed on schedules, Okay, from this time to this time, I'm getting the kids ready. This time to this time, I'm going to work. This time to this time, I'm working. This time to this time, I'm coming back. This time to this time, I'm picking up the kids. And from this time to this time, I'm cooking, cleaning, getting them into bed. That was my life. And I'm pretty sure that's the most of life of most parents, okay? And when I got out of that, I realized, oh, wait, I can do this. I can just sit with my kid and cuddle for half an hour because I have time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I can sit and read a book to my kid because I got time for it. We don't realize it, but time is of the essence, because we're letting it go so quickly without realizing that that should be our priority.
Yes.
Once we have time, we can prioritize everyone around us. I mean, giving time to my kids. People say my reason was my kids. That was my biggest why. Yes, that is my biggest why. My kids are my why. But how can I give them that if I don't have time? Once I got it, everyone was happy. Trust me, like my kids are ecstatic when they know that mommy's not rushing them in the morning. My husband is ecstatic if he takes a half day. He knows he's going to come home to his wife, not an empty house. My parents were ecstatic because they could randomly pick up the phone in the middle of the day and just talk to me.
Yes.
And like having warm meals, fresh meals. Like we do so much of. I remember when I was working Sunday preps. We prep all the food, we put it in the freezer so we could take it out on the week and just shove it in the oven and here you go, eat.
Yes.
I don't do that anymore. Like I make my kids, I ask them, what do you guys want for supper today? And they tell me, and here mommy doesn't mind spending an hour or two in the kitchen because I've had all day.
Yes.
And I know I could have the rest of the evening with them.
Yes.
And make some fresh food. Like it's all about time. And then we can use it the way we want. And for me, once I got that, my biggest why, having time, I knew I could take care of the other whys in my life.
Yes, they said that there's a saying. They said that the best gift you can give to anyone, it's time.
Yes.
If you can spend time with that person, if you're willing to spend time for that person, you love them, it's the best gift ever.
And I also find that, we talk about luxuries in life.
Yes.
Big house, big fancy car, big bank balances. Yeah, those are nice. Will they remember me when I'm gone? I don't think so. Will they cry for me if something happens? No, they won't. Will they be happy for me if something happens? No, they won't. But my kids, my spouse, my family, my friends, whoever is in your life, those are the people who are going to remember me. But why would they remember me if I never spent any time with them? They'll only remember me because I made those memories with them. I gave them time. I listened to their sorrows or their happiness.
Yes.
That's when they'll be there for me. Relationships are very important. And they can only be built when we give them time.
Okay, so after all that very touching speech, can you please tell us how this business had changed your life until now? The time with your kids, that's I think the most big change.
Yes. The biggest life-changing was that I did get a chance to spend more time with my kids, quality time with my kids. I became from mom to mommy again. And I actually rediscovered myself. I learned that you kind of numb yourself because you got to do these responsibilities in life. Well, I kind of became unnumb again. So I remember, oh yeah, I have a creative side. I like to cook, or I like to do this, So this business has taught me that one should never forget their real identity or forget who they really are. Don't give yourself to others only, like for work and all that. Think about yourself a little bit and think about the people that really matter in your life. I find a lot of people, they go home and say, my boss said this, my colleague said this happened at work. But do you know you're wasting all that time talking about people who don't really matter in your life? And you're forgetting about the ones who do, which is your kids.
Yes.
Your spouse, your partner, whoever's in your life, your family, your friends, no matter which situation you are in. This business has made me realize the importance of people who really matter. I think that's what's changed in my life, is that my priorities have changed, and I love the fact that my kid, I prioritize my kids, and now, they look at me and they go, I ask them, who's the most important person in your life? And you know what? They say, mommy. It's
Of
always
course.
mommy.
Of
You know,
course.
who do you love the most? Mommy.
Of
You
course.
know, you want to go out and play with your friends? No, I want to be with mom, because they know mommy's gonna be there. No, but you don't realize the happiness you feel inside. I don't think my boss is gonna say, I want to hang out with you, or my colleague is gonna say, I want to be with you. No, no, they don't care. They went home. You're forgotten. But your kids are gonna be there for the rest of your life.
Yes.
I also realize that if I don't give them time today, they won't give me time later on,
Well, yes.
because we're now making a relationship. We're making that bond. We're making that the foundation of everything with them, right? So they're seeing that mommy always has time for us. Mommy's there for us. Mommy solves our problems. Mommy takes care of us. She does all these things with a smile on her face. There's gonna be a time when I get older and they're gonna be busy in their lives. I'm gonna want them to give me time, but why would they give me time if I never give them this time now?
Yeah, this is what
They're
I
gonna
thought
think,
before as well.
this is something that, they're gonna be like, well, you were busy for us, now we're busy for you. But
Yes.
building that now and saying, no, I'm there for you, they're gonna come back and think, mommy was always there for us. She was able to take out time for us, so why don't we do it for her?
Yes.
We don't want much from our kids besides love, respect, and time in the future, but we have to give it to them now so they can learn to give it to us later.
Yeah, I think it's very right what you said, because today's society, we're talking about normal parents, normal people, right? Not the people in the online business. It's that they're always rushing. Life is so rushing to wake up, rushing to go to school and then go to work for the traffic, rushing after work to go to your 5 to 7, always rushing. So when you rush, that's why we said that, in the training as well, meditation is very important, because when you are calm, you will be able to think about the right thing, to do the right thing, to say the right thing. But when you're so rushed and so much distraction around you, you won't even be able to find yourself, and you lost yourself. And then you'll be, at the end of the day, you'll be so tired, you sleep, and then you wake up and then it's already the morning. You don't even know that you have a good sleep or not. So that's the life, I think. What is very good in this online business, it allows us to slow down as well. Just like you said, just like you, to slow down, and then to find out that who is rather it really are, who am I? Like something that I didn't know that I like, maybe, I think this is a very great thing to know. Can you please, Nada, name one of the best advantage of this business, or more?
There's so many. I could make a list down. But one of the things that I love about this business is the automation.
Okay.
Now, why do I love it? It's because the automation allows my business to keep running while I'm doing the things I want to do. So I could be sitting on the couch with my kid, reading a book, just chilling, but my business hasn't stopped. It keeps going. In a traditional business, what happens is you close those doors, you're done.
Yes.
No, you're not going to be making anything after that.
No client.
No client. You're done with it, right? Whereas it could be any time of the day, but my business, it keeps moving. It's still running. It's doing its thing without me having to do much at that time. And then I go to it when I have time, right? So automation has really helped, especially busy parents. Even like we have so many parents or people who work full time and running their business on the side. They're still generating because of the automation. Even if they're out there 9 to 5, they're still, business is still running. So they don't have to give up that 9 to 5 time to run their business. So I think automation, I love this concept of automation. It's a blessing, I think, for many.
Yes.
But I do also have to say another thing that I love about this business is that the community.
Yes.
I love having such a huge and global business community that is there. We're like at 230,000 members in our business community around the globe. And that is wow. Like I have to admit, it's a wow because I don't think I know of any business that would have that many business owners around, you know, and the fact that each one is there to help you, to guide you, to just pull you up or just help you if you need it, and they're available 24/7. It's amazing because none of us come with genius minds that know everything. So having that helping hand all the time is a blessing in its own way.
So at last, Radha, thank you for your speech. I think that, people like me, I was a full-time mother, but people like you were working in the financial fields, right? In the bank, right? And then you have your own business. You've seen a lot, right? And then you still decide to go on and then to start this online business. And that shows us that this online business is not only for parents like mothers or parents like that. It's for everyone, everyone who would like to start a side hustle. You don't have to quit your job, but to do that, because if this is something that you want to try, you can give it a try first. And then if this goes well, of course, a lot of business partners already quit their job for it. So I think it's a very good opportunity for everyone to see what kind of people we have in this online business. Some people, you must be, are you a very skeptical person?
I am.
You were, right? Because
I was. You're right. I was. No, for me, trying something new, doing something out of my comfort zone was a big challenge, actually, because I went to school and I did what I did and I got my job, and I stuck with the same company for 15 years. That's how comfortable I was. I didn't want to move around.
You're so comfortable.
Because we get comfortable and it's just easier, starting all over, doing something new. It's hard. It's hard for everyone. I mean, we're humans and we pretty much all have similar characteristics in that sense. Once you're with a company, you want to stick with it because you don't want to deal with new people, new bosses, new technology, new everything. And even when I started this business, I was a little concerned. What is this? How is it possible? Is it legit? Is it not legit? Like all these questions popped in my head. And then, can I do it? Can I not do it? I know nothing about technology. I mean, I knew how to use a computer. I knew how to use it for my work, but to do all this stuff, I was a lost case, So all these things did pop in my head, and I was like, I don't know. My husband was the one said, check it out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because you were in the financial field. This is what I want to say, because my ex-husband, he worked in a financial as well, and he was very skeptical. If I started something like that, he would be, no, that's a scam. He would probably say that.
Fear is normal, though. I find it's normal to feel that way, I think, And I know when I watched the information session, the webinar, I was okay to give my name and my email. That was not a problem.
Yes.
I'm like, what are you going to do with my name and email? You can't do much with it, right? So that I was comfortable with. It was the next step, right? That where I went like, I don't know, I was iffy now, right? Because I wasn't working. I was home for the past 8 months. So I was iffy about it. But then I told my husband about it. I go, look, this is the next step. This is what I have to do. I don't know, and he looked at me and he goes, really? He goes, I go, why? What if it's not for me? He goes, Radha, when you go to a restaurant and you order food, okay, you don't know what that food is going to taste like. Whether you like it or not.
Very good example.
Whether you like it or not, you still have to pay for it, right? I'm like, right. And he goes, think of it. You went to a restaurant one night and you decided to order food. You still had to pay for it.
Your husband really likes to eat, right?
Right.
Oh my God, I never heard of this, but he's good.
I know, and I listen to him and I go, "You're so right." And he goes,
That's so
if you like it, you will move forward. If you don't,
You make a complaint.
you can just make a complaint about it. I don't know, do whatever you want with it, you know? And I listen to him and I'm like, you actually make logical sense to me now. Like, you know,
Yes.
we're willing to invest into things that we know nothing about. And here we're saying we're giving you the information for no cost at all. And if you want to move forward, you're still not losing anything. Just move forward and get the information. And I did. And you know what? I went in and I got all the information, and my logical brain still has doubts, right? Because that's the way I think.
Mm-hmm.
But then I did all my research on my own, and I said, let's find out what this is all about. And when I realized, like, you know, like, I'm gonna pay taxes on this income I'm making, so that's all legit, right?
Yes.
It's government approved, it's legit,
Mm-hmm.
right? I go, what am I fearing then? Like, there should be no fear. And like at that point, I went in, and honestly speaking, I never looked back. And you know, there was another line that my husband told me. I remember. He goes to me.
So he's the mentor behind you.
He was my push and shove. Honestly speaking, until today, you know, you have your I remember in the beginning, ups and downs happen, right? And you know, you have those days where you're just like, oh, I just want to give up, and I'm done with this. And he kept on saying to me, "You're not going to give up. That is not you. You have never given up on anything in life. You will never get." And he's right. And look, I'm here 4 years later. 4 years later, and I'm still here. So that proves to me that I can do this, you know. But I remember him telling me once, Radha, get all the information, do your research, because you never want to look back and say, I wish I had. You know? And he's right, because you don't want to have that regret on your brain for the rest of your life thinking, I wish I had tried that. I wish I did that. He goes, just do it. Just do it. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, at least you can go back and say, I didn't try.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that would be on me then. The guilt that I didn't bother trying. So I don't know. I just find somebody says these things out of the blue. But they really they hit me hard, and I was like, I don't want to have that regret, because I've never had that regret. Anything I've done in life, I've done it with full force, and I've done everything I've wanted to do. Like I'm one of those very determined people in life, and he made me realize that after, like I said, 8 months, I've kind of started going a little downhill on things, because you know, you start feeling like, whoa, where am I going in life, right? But those two pushes and little punch and little, you know, this and that, and he made me realize I've got to get back into Radha mode, you know. And I went full-fledged, and you know what? I'm glad he did it. Mm-hmm. Because here I am today, like, you know, he's able to do half days of work.
Here
now.
You are today, coach, mentor, and a very proud digital business owner.
Exactly. I mean, I've come far in the years that I've been in the business, and I'm proud of myself. And I would like to tell everyone that you can do this if you really want it. If your why is strong enough and your desire to succeed,
there's no fear.
There's no fear, and nothing can stop you. The only person that's stopping you is you.
Yes.
You know, so don't blame it on he said, she said, they made me. No, it's you. Yes. You have to do it for yourself, and then you can do it for everyone else with you.
Yeah. So at last, Radha, can you say something for the audience? Like, just pretend your husband is here. What will he say to the audience today?
Oh my God.
In a Radha mode.
In a Radha mode. All I would want to say to whoever is watching, if you're watching this right now, there's a reason for it. There's a reason that you're watching this. So take those initial steps. If you took 30 minutes to watch us, you can take 90 minutes to watch the info session. You're not going to lose anything. You'll only gain some knowledge, but at least you can look back at yourself and say, I looked at it, I tried it, and then I made a decision. Yes. Don't make decisions. Don't judge a book by its cover. Go in, read the chapters, find out what it's about, and then decide.
Thank you. Thank you, Radha.